Good afternoon. I've got a quick product update for you about wire and valve locators. This is our Pro700. You've seen it before. It's been out for about 16 years. If you'll remember, it was the locator that moved our wand from the little shorty 2-footer to a long one, so you didn't have to stoop over. Has an external speaker on it, so you didn't have to use headset. Uses D batteries and also puts it in a slimline case so you can fit it behind the seat of your truck and not get it stolen. That was the innovations 16 years ago. Since then, you know, of course, we brought out our 800 and our 900 and have added features to those as well. The 700, though, is getting a new feature today, and it's a pretty useful one if you're doing troubleshooting. And what it is we've put on the transmitter a switch that allows you to go from pulsing, or the traditional beep, beep, beep signal that you're used to hearing, to a solid, continuous tone. In our industry, we're the only industry that I'm aware of that standardizes on a beeping signal versus a solid signal. Everybody else uses solid signals. In addition, we're tracking nulls, they're tracking peaks. In this case, I'm giving you the opportunity to use a solid tone for tracing trouble, looking for shorts, looking for cuts, that kind of thing. It works much better and continuous. So let me just demonstrate it real quickly. The pulsing signal is what you're used to. That's the beeping signal that the older units have always used. If I take this switch here and switch it over to the right-hand side, it becomes a continuous tone. Continuous tone is much better and easier to find trouble and to do troubleshooting with. Let me demonstrate that for you. I'll put it back in the pulsing mode. I'll turn on the 700. And that's the signal that you're traditionally hearing, right? The beeping signal. Now I flip this switch and it goes to solid tone. So when I'm tracking a wire, I still get my null, but it's a solid signal. Why is that important? What does that do for me? As I'm traveling down this cable, and this is one of our 8-foot long alligator clip cables, makes it a little easier for you to hook it up in a garage. As I'm traveling down that cable, when I come to an anomaly in the cable, a cut for sure, any kind of serious damage, anything that's going to change the tonality of that signal is going to be much easier to hear with a continuous signal than it is with a beeping signal. So that's why I want a continuous. And that's why that switch is put on there. Now remember, it's an option. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. If you traditionally like that beeping signal, keep it that way. But if you like the idea of using continuous, and I do for troubleshooting, then you've got that option. So if you've got a second, we'll take it outside and we'll show you how it works. Okay, so this is going to show you what it sounds like when in the beeping mode. And you're probably familiar with this. Tracking the wire up the hill, following the null, listening to that beeping signal. Now let's see what it sounds like in continuous. Okay, so here's what it sounds like with continuous mode. Now what's interesting here is because of the continuous mode, you can hear the difference in tonality very easily when I barely move it. Right there's the null. So you can imagine what it's going to sound like if I've got a fault here. If I'm looking for a cut or I'm looking for damage, it's going to be much easier to find with a solid tone like this. And again, you don't have to use continuous if you don't want to. It's there as an option. So this is the new feature on the Pro700. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.